Right, so welcome to today's workshop. We'll get the screen share back up. So welcome everybody to this morning's workshop, day 2 of our Junior Academy for this year. Oh dear. There we go. Okay, so I've asked you to all have your cameras on. That's fantastic. If you can keep your microphone muted throughout the workshop, that just helps the background noise to keep it to a minimum. You are, of course, at any time welcome to unmute yourself and ask a question, or you can use the chat box. I'll be monitoring the chat box and we'll pass on any questions to Lauren. So we've covered that. If your screen freezes at all throughout the workshop, please log off and then log back on. I'll also be monitoring the waiting room and I'll let you in as soon as I can. So we've covered the question of ensuring that your display name is yours, which is fantastic. And today we're not going to be using any breakout rooms, so we don't need to be concerned about that one. Okay, so today's workshop is yoga with Lauren. Here's a picture of her. She's a Hatha yoga instructor. She's practiced yoga for some years and she holds appropriate qualifications and is looking to share her passion with others. Her other job is as a digital and events coordinator at Cobras Sterling, and you can read there what she does in line with that. She's got quite a varied CV. But yoga is a particular interest of her, and I hope that you enjoy today's workshop. So what I'm going to do is, and I'm now going to pass you over to Lauren. She'll say a few things before we get started. Okay, enjoy. At the end, when Lauren has finished, please just stay online just for a few more minutes. So I'll just wind up the day with just a few pieces of information about going forward about day 3. Okay, enjoy, folks.
Hi everyone, thank you for coming along. I just want to say we'll be doing a sort of slower class. It'll be quite stretchy for all you swimmers. If you do have any injuries or you feel any pain whilst we're doing any of the movements, please just stop and come out of it, because obviously I'm not there to help you. So we'll start out with a bit of a warm up and then we'll go into the yoga session, and just raise your hands at any point if you need to ask me something. Okay, so if you'll step on your mats. We're going to start by standing. We're just going to do a bit of a warm up. So we're just going to take some neck rolls, okay? So just taking your neck round one way. And just taking some deep breaths as we do this. Just getting all the aches and pains out of your neck. And one more time this way. And then we're going to take it in the opposite direction. And coming back to center. We're going to take some shoulder rolls, taking them forward first. Start with some small circles, just really small. And then as you move, make them a tiny bit bigger, and eventually you can incorporate your arms in as well, which obviously you'll be used to when you're swimming. Just really feel the tension coming out of the shoulders. Great, everyone. 3 more times to the front. And then bring your shoulders down. And now we're going to take some small circles back the way. So just start slowly with some small circles. And then eventually allow them to get bigger and bigger. And then you can start incorporating your arms in as well. Perfect. Lovely. Just a few more circles back the way. And then bringing your hands down. We're going to take a stretch to the sides, so bringing your right arm across your body, taking your left arm up, and just hugging that arm in. You should feel a nice stretch in the shoulder. That's great, everyone. Take a few deep breaths here. So in yoga, it's really important to breathe deeply. It helps relieve the tension, especially after swimming, you need a good stretch. So a few deep breaths here. One more deep breath. And then shake off your arms. And we're going to take it to the other side. So taking the left arm across and hugging it in with the right arm, and a few deep breaths here, feeling the stretch in your shoulder. Two more deep breaths. After the last breath, shake off your arms. It's nice to warm up your body, nice to have a shake. Okay, stepping the feet wide, having the feet parallel, so facing the front. We're just going to take some lunges side to side. So you can either place your hands on your hips or have your hands in front of you. And just taking a lunge side to side. We're just warming up the hips and the legs here. That's great, everyone. Lovely. Really good. And if you want to, if you come to one side, you can stay a bit longer. So putting the hands on the thigh and just taking a deeper stretch to the one side. A couple of deep breaths here. That's great. And then taking it to the other side. A couple of deep breaths. And then to the other side. Lovely. One more deep breath, and then we'll take it to the other side. And then deep breath in and come back to center, stepping the feet in. We're going to take it to the top of the mat now, standing at the top of your mat. We're going to take a deep breath in, raising the arms up overhead. And as you breathe out, folding forward, okay? So try and fold forward vertebrae by vertebrae. So you're feeling your back rolling down, head is coming down. Lovely, everyone. And now stepping back into a plank. And then bringing the knees down to the mat. So we're coming onto all fours now. So we're having our hands underneath our shoulders, spreading the fingertips wide, knees underneath the hips, and feet are pressed down into the mat. We're going to do a few rounds of cat-cow, which is really great for warming up the spine and stretching the spine. So what you're going to do is take a deep breath in and arch the spine, looking forward. And you're pressing your chest forward. And as you breathe out, you're slowly going to roll over and arch the spine in the opposite way. So you're going to take a few rounds of this. So breathing in, pressing into the hands, looking up, breathing out, taking the gaze down. So just keep doing that for about 10 rounds. Everyone's doing a great job. You should really feel the nice stretch in your spine. Lovely. Great job, everyone. So just keep going with this nice deep breath as you look forward and arch, and deep breath out as you round through. Great, everyone. Once you've done 10 breaths, just come back to center. So just come back to neutral. I'll just wait till you're all done. Lovely. We're now going to do thread the needles, staying on all fours, having our hands below our shoulders, knees underneath our hips. We're going to raise our right arm up, looking up to the ceiling. And then as we breathe out, we're going to thread it underneath our left arm. And then we're going to take a deep breath in, raise it up again. We're going to do this 5 times. Deep breath out, thread it underneath. So do that 5 times. And then on the 5th time, we're going to rest our right hand on the ground, resting our head on the mat. and feeling the nice deep stretch. Great, everyone. So this is a twist for the spine, which is really good for mobilizing it. Lovely. Yep, so on your 5th breath, you're just going to stay here for a few deep breaths, just resting the arm and the head on the ground. And once you've taken 3 deep breaths in that pose, you can just come back to neutral on your hands and knees, but remember to take your time with this. Great, everyone. Okay, and now we're going to take it to the other side. So raising up the left arm, looking up, breathing out, threading it underneath the right. Raising it up, breathing in, and then threading it underneath the right arm. And we're going to do this 5 times again. Great job, everyone. Raising it up, and breathing out, threading it underneath. 2 more times. Deep breath in, deep breath out, deep breath in, and now again, like before, we're going to rest our arm and our head on the mat, making sure our hips are up to the sky, and you're feeling a nice twist in the spine. Great job, everyone. So just 2 more deep breaths here. And when you're ready, come back to all 4s like we did before. Great. We're now going to take puppy posture. So having your hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, we're going to slowly walk our hands out. And as we're doing this, we're pressing our hips up to the sky and bringing our chest down towards the mat. If you need a block or something underneath your head or you can't reach the mat, that's totally okay. Just come to wherever you're comfortable with. But we're bringing our hands forward as far as we can and then bringing our chest down to the ground, mat to the forehead. And just taking some nice deep breaths here. Great, everyone. This is really good for your chest and shoulders, which obviously must get quite tight when you're swimming. So this is a really good stretch for you to do. So taking some deep breaths in through the nose and then sighing out through the mouth. Fantastic. So just a few more deep breaths here. If you need to come out, that's fine. Don't worry. Once you've taken a couple more deep breaths here, we're going to place our forearms on the mat and come through so that you're lying your stomach on the ground. Okay. So now we're lying on the ground. We're going to take our hands beside our ribs, close into our bodies. Our elbows are back and we're hugging in to the sides of our bodies, and we're going to take some baby cobras. So if you watch me first before you do this, our head is on the mat and we're going to take a deep breath in and just come up slightly, looking forward. Chest is opening. And as we breathe out, we're bringing our head back down to the mat. So you're not using your hands at all for this. You're just using your upper strength, but it's a nice stretch for the chest. So on a deep breath in, just raising up, looking forward. And on a deep breath out, you're going to look down, okay? Bring your head back down to the ground. We're going to do this 5 times. So just in your own time. Great job. Remember to hug your shoulders in, hugging your elbows into the side of your body. You're not using your hands, you're just using your upper strength. And then once you've done 5 rounds of this, just taking your time, you're going to bring your hands in front, underneath your head, resting your forehead on the palms of your hands, and you're just going to rock your hips side to side. And just...
Lauren, sorry to interrupt you. Do you want to lower your camera slightly? Because my picture of you when you're down on the ground, I'm losing you. Right,
yes,
that's probably better.
You.
Okay.
Thanks. So you're having your head resting on your hands, and you're just going to rock your hips side to side, just giving your body a rest here. Just for a couple of moments. And now we're going to take our hands back to the sides of our ribs, pressing up into all fours again. And now we're going to take a down dog. So you're tucking under the toes, pressing your hips up to the sky, and we're pushing our chest back towards our thighs, and we're in sort of a V shape. And we're going to take one heel up and down at a time. So really feeling the stretch in your thighs, in your hamstrings, in your hips, and pressing into the palms of your hands. We're just going to do this for a few moments. So taking some nice deep breaths. Great job, everyone. Lovely. So just slowing down the walking, just so you can really feel the stretch in your thighs. Lovely. And just take a couple more seconds to just walk it out. And then when you're ready, taking a deep bend in the knees, and we're just going to press our chest back towards our thighs. We're staying in down dog, but we're not walking anymore. We're just taking a nice deep bend. So you should feel a really good stretch in your back and in your hamstrings. And take a really deep breath here. Really good job. Okay. Now we're going to come forward into plank. And then hugging in the elbows, taking the knees to the ground, and then bringing yourself down to the mat again. Untucking the toes, so you're lying on the mat. We're taking our hands beside our ribs again, hugging in the elbows, and we're going to do a full cobra this time. So last time we did a baby cobra when we came up halfway. Now we're going to do a full cobra. So if you watch me, you're hugging in the elbows to the side, taking a deep breath in, and now you are using your hands and you're pressing up, not fully locking the elbows, but looking forward, keeping a soft bend in the elbows, feeling a nice stretch in the back. And when you're ready, take a deep breath out and slowly come back down to the mat. So in your own time, having the hands on the ground next to your ribs, deep breath in, opening up the chest, raising up. Fantastic, everyone. That's really good. And then just deep breath out, taking it back down to the ground. We're going to do this 3 times, so take a break in between each one. It can be quite intense. Great, everyone. Really good. And after you've done 3, once again, we're just going to bring our arms forward, resting our head on our hands and rocking our hips side to side in a couple of moments. Now we're going to do a really nice shoulder stretch. So I'll demonstrate first before you all do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our left hand out to the side and we're going to have our palm facing down. We're going to press in with our right hand and roll over onto our side. If this is enough for you, you can just stay here. If you think you want to go further, you can take your right knee up and have your foot on the floor. And you'll be able to feel a really nice stretch through that shoulder. And then when you're ready to come out, take your leg down and just roll back, resting your head on your hands. We're going to stay there for a few seconds. So taking the left palm out, palm facing down, rolling onto that side, and feeling the stretch through the shoulder. Really good, everyone. If you feel any pain, just come out of the stretch. That's okay. Often this is a part that we don't stretch enough, so it is good to get a stretch in there. I'm just taking 2 deep breaths here. And when you're ready to come out, just roll onto your front again, resting your head on your hands and just taking a couple of moments to rest. Now we're going to take it onto the other side. So reaching out, your right hand, palm facing down, you're rolling towards your right side. And then you can either take your left leg up if you want to, or you can just leave it lying on the ground, pressing into the left palm, feeling the stretch in the right shoulder. Really good, everyone. So 3 deep breaths here. And again, once you've taken your deep breaths, just come back to center, resting your head on your hands, and just taking a couple of moments to give your shoulders a rest. Some of this can be quite intense, but it is good to stretch. So now we're staying on our stomachs, but we're going to do bow pose. So what we're going to do is we're taking our feet up, so they're up to the ceiling. We're holding onto our ankles if we can. And then what we're doing is we're looking forward, and as we're pulling on our ankles, we're stretching our feet back. So we're taking an arch in the back. We're going to take a nice deep breath here and feel the arch in the back. And when you're ready, you can just release the feet and release the hands back down. So holding onto the ankles, stretching the feet back and arching the back, looking forward, making sure the chest is opening up, feeling a nice deep stretch here. You can hold it for as long as you can, and then if you feel that you need to rest, you can just come back to the center, releasing the legs. Really good, everyone. You can try it a couple of times if you want to. It can be quite difficult to get a hang of. Really good. Some of you are professionals, I think. Fantastic. Once you've had enough, again, just rest on your hands. Rest on your head on your hands. Giving the back a rest. Really good effort, everyone. Okay. So now from the stomach, again, we're going to press up into all fours. So using your hands, bring the body up, knees underneath the hips, walking our hands a little bit forward, and we're coming into a down dog again. So reaching the hips up to the sky. And again, we're just going to walk out our dog. One heel down at a time. Really feel the back lengthening. Imagine someone is pulling a string from your hips up towards the sky. You can imagine that helps you to stretch your back out. That's it. Good job, everyone. Just a few more moments, just walking out the dog here. Once you're ready, raising the left leg up to the sky. So this is called three-legged dog. And then we're stepping it forward into a low lunge, bringing the back foot down. You can keep the back toes tucked or untucked, whatever is most comfortable for you. We're having the front knee over the front ankle, and we're stretching the hips here. You should really feel a nice stretch in the hips. You don't want to have your hips coming too far forward, because that can be bad for your back. So just make sure you're quite level. You can keep your hands on your hips or on the front thigh, and just feel a really nice stretch. So just a few deep breaths in here, just looking forward. Great job, everyone. Okay. If you want a deeper stretch, you can slowly walk the front foot forward, but don't come too far, just as much as comfortable as for you. Now we're going to take a few rounds of coming back and forward. So what we're going to do is bring our hands to the floor. We're going to straighten the front leg, flexing the front foot. So now you'll feel the stretch in the hamstring. breathing out. As you breathe in, we're bending into the front leg, taking that low lunge. So just in your own time, deep breath out, straightening the front leg, flexing the foot, breathing in, coming forward into your low lunge. So you're getting into the hips and the hamstrings here. Just taking a few rounds of this. Nice and slowly, feeling really good stretch. Great, everyone. These are some really good stretches to do daily, which can help you recover after your swimming sessions. It's just 2 more times doing this. And the next time we come forward into our low lunge, we're going to bring our back foot up if we can keep the balance. So a good way to keep your balance is to really keep your core tight, so hugging in the core. And then we're going to hold on to our back ankle, and you're going to feel that stretch through the quad in the back leg. Don't worry if you can't balance, that's okay. It's all about practicing. Great, everyone. So holding onto the front leg if that's going to give more balance, yeah? One more deep breath and then releasing the back foot, coming back into our low lunge. Okay. We're now going to take lizard pose. So walking the left foot to the side, pointing the toes off to the side. And we're going to take both hands to the center. So this is called lizard pose. So you should probably feel a nice stretch through the left hip and through the left thigh. If you're a bit more flexible, you can bring your forearms to the ground. But if that's too much for you, just keeping your hands where they are. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to push your chest forward, feeling the stretch through the hip and looking forward. We're going to take some deep breaths here. This is a really great stretch. Good job, everyone. Two more deep breaths here. And then walking your foot back into the center, bringing either hand to the side of the foot. We're going to tuck under the back toes, step back into a plank, bringing our knees to the ground, and then hugging our elbows into the side, bringing our head and chest to the ground, untucking the toes. We're going to take a baby cobra again. So looking forward, breathing in, opening up the chest, breathing out, tucking under the toes, pressing yourself up, coming back into a down dog. And again, just walking out your down dog for a couple of moments. Feeling that nice stretch. The down dogs are better already. And now we're going to take everything we just did to the right side. So raising up the right leg, 3-legged dog, stepping it forward into a low lunge. Again, keep the back toes tucked under or untucked, just whatever is comfortable for you. Coming up, hands on the hips or hands on the thigh, and just sinking into the hips, feeling that nice stretch. Few deep breaths here, looking forward. Great, everyone. Remember to keep your knee, your front knee, of your ankle. So if you imagine a straight line going from your knee all the way to the ankle. Great, perfect. And a few more deep breaths here. Once again, we're going to do what we did on the left-hand side. As you breathe out, straightening the front leg, flexing the foot, bringing the hands to the ground. And just in your own time, we're going to do a few rounds of this. So breathing in, coming forward, low lunge, feeling it in the hips. Breathing out, straightening the front leg, feeling it in the hamstring. So just in your own time, just a few rounds of this, going through the motion. So we're going to do 2 more rounds of this. The next time you come forward, again, we're going to grab onto that back ankle, which I know can be a bit hard to balance, but remember to hug in. Oh, see, I fall as well. It does happen. Just hold on to your front thigh, hug in your core, and then you should feel the nice stretch through the back thigh. Again, don't worry if you fall, it happens all the time. It's more about practice. Just taking a few deep breaths. Just as much as you can hold it. This is quite a painful one to do, but it is really good. And then releasing that back foot. We're going to take lizard again. So walking the right foot out to the side, pointing the toes out, bringing both hands into the center. And again, pushing that chest forward, looking forward. And if you want to take it further, you can take your forearms to the ground. But if that's too much, just staying on the hands here. And we're just taking a few deep breaths, just feeling a nice stretch through the hip on the right side. Good job, everyone. Two more deep breaths here in your lizard pose. And then when you're ready, walking your foot back into the center, either hand to the side of the foot, and we're going to take it back up into a down dog. So taking that foot back, pressing the hips up to the sky, and then walking your down dog. So remember, you're pushing your chest back towards your thighs, pressing the hands into the mat, and hips are raising up, and you're just walking it out. Perfect. Just 2 more deep breaths here. And then when you're ready, bringing the knees down to the mat, and we're going to walk our hands back to our knees. We're going to take a foot stretch now. So what you want to do is you want to curl under every single toe so you're sitting on your heels. If this is too much for you, you can just come out of this pose. It may be slightly painful because we don't often stretch our toes. It seems like a funny thing to do, but it is important, especially for you swimmers as you're using your feet a lot as well. So what we're going to do is keep our spine straight, just have our hands resting on our thighs, looking forward, and just feeling the stretch through the feet. Just hold it as long as you can, and when you're ready to come out, you can just come forward. But we're going to try and hold it for a few breaths, okay? You're all doing really well. One more deep breath. And coming forward onto our hands and knees. And we're going to untuck our toes and just press our feet into the ground. This is going to release the pain from the stretch that we just did. So just tap your feet on the ground like this. Feels a bit funny, but it's good to do. Okay. And now we're going to come into butterfly. So we're going to come sitting down and bringing our feet together in front of us. So you obviously do butterfly in swimming, I'm sure. This is a different type of butterfly here. So what we're going to do is bring our feet closer into our body. We're either going to hold onto the toes or onto the ankles, just what's most comfortable for you. I prefer to hold onto my toes, but whatever is best for you. We're going to push our chest open, shoulders back, and we're going to flutter the knees up and down. Just whilst we're deep breathing. So just fluttering the knees, you'll feel this in the hips. It's really good for you. And just looking forward. Really good job, everyone. Two more deep breaths. This. And when you're ready, we're just going to stay in this pose for a second or two. So no more fluttering, we're just staying in the butterfly pose. Deep breath out. Okay. We're going to bring our legs together now and come into a forward fold. So stretching your legs out in front and flexing the feet so the toes are pointing up. We're going to keep our spine straight. Take a deep breath in as you raise your arms overhead. And as you breathe out, we're going to fold forward. But what you don't want to do is round through the spine too much. So if your hands come to your thighs, that's fine. Your ankles or your toes, wherever is comfortable for you, bring your hands and then just take a deep breath out and just let your head drop, okay? And just take a couple of deep breaths here. So you should feel the stretch coming up from the lower spine all the way up to the top and through the hamstrings as well. Just a few deep breaths here. Usually with every deep breath out, you can come a little bit further. So if you take a deep breath in, straighten the spine, and take a deep breath out, you might be able to fold forward from the hips a little bit more. Try it for yourself and see what happens. On your next breath in, we're going to walk our hands back so our spine is straight. And we're going to take a one-legged stretch, bringing our right foot in to our left thigh, keeping those front toes pointing up. We're going to take a side stretch, so bringing the left forearm down to the mat or to the leg, reaching up the right arm and stretching to the side. So you'll feel this right up here. What you want to do is try and keep the top shoulder rotating backwards so the chest is opening up. If you want to, you can look up or look straight forward. Take a few deep breaths here. If it's more comfortable for you, you can use sort of a bouncing motion. You might feel a bit more of a stretch, but if you want to just hold it, that's fine too. Good job, everyone. One more deep breath here. And as you breathe out, coming back up to center, we're going to take a forward fold over the one leg. So keeping the toes pointing up to the ceiling. Deep breath in as we raise our arms up overhead. And as we breathe out, we're going to reach forward. If you can reach for your foot this time, grab onto it. If you can't, just the ankle or the shin, wherever is comfortable for you. And looking forward, reaching forward. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, just let the head drop. I'm just going to take a couple of breaths here, just feeling the stretch through the spine. And again, with every exhale, you might be able to fold a little bit more forward, but it's okay if you don't. One more deep breath here. As you breathe out, walking the hands back up to the center, and we're going to do the same thing, but on the other side. So stretching out the right leg, just giving your legs a little shake here. And then bringing in the left foot to the right thigh. Making sure the right toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. The left leg is down to the side, taking a deep breath in, and then bringing the right arm to the ground, stretching over to the side, reaching out the left hand. Great job, everyone. So again, making sure that left shoulder is rotating back the way, so you're opening up the chest, feeling the nice stretch through the left side of the body here. Taking a few deep breaths. Really good. One more deep breath here. And as you exhale, coming back to center. And again, we're going to take the forward fold. So raising our arms up overhead, deep breath in. And as we breathe out, we're folding forward over the right leg this time. So again, just grabbing on wherever you can. Deep breath in and breathing out, just letting the head drop, feeling the stretch through the spine. Just taking 2 more deep breaths here. When you're ready, on your breath out, walking your hands back up to center, stretching out the left leg and just shaking the knees, giving them a tap on the floor, stretching out the legs. Okay, we're going to cross over the ankles now, come to seated, and again, we're just going to take a couple of neck rolls like we did at the start. So just taking it round one way, just slowly, having the hands on the knees. Just a few times one way. And then when you come back to center, taking it in the opposite direction. And bringing the head up to center. What we're going to do now is take a side sort of stretch for your neck. So we're going to take our right hand over to the left side of our head. We're just going to place it there. We're not going to force this at all, okay? And we're going to bring our left hand to the floor. And we're just going to let our head drop to the right side. So again, we're not pulling on our head. We're just letting it naturally drop. And you should feel a nice stretch through the through the left side of the neck. And take a deep breath in here through the nose. And a deep breath out. And again, deep breath in. And deep breath out. And release that right hand, slowly bringing the head up to center. And we're going to take it to the other side. So left hand to the right side of the head. Slowly let it drop to the left side, no forcing, and bring the right hand to the ground. Okay. 2 deep breaths in. So deep breath in. Feeling that stretch, and deep breath out. 1 more deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Slowly releasing that hand, bringing the head to the center. Perfect. So I'm just facing to the side now, okay? Bringing your feet to the mat. We're hugging in the knees to the chest, and we're going to take our hands to the backs of our thighs. We're going to roll down our backs to the mat, so vertebrae by vertebrae. So you're going to tuck the chin in, and I want you to see how slowly you can get down to the mat, okay? So tucking your chin in and just rolling your back to the mat as slowly as you can, feeling the nice stretch until you reach all the way down. Okay. Once you're down on the mat, hugging in the knees to the chest and rocking side to side for a second. And now we're going to take Happy Baby, which seems to be everyone's favorite pose in yoga. So we're going to take our feet up to the ceiling, and we're going to grab onto our feet, or if you can't grab onto your feet, grab onto your ankles. And you're just going to gently rock side to side. So you should feel a really nice stretch in your thighs and in your hips here. So just gentle rock side to side as if you're a happy baby. It's a really nice pose. Just take a few more deep breaths. Great job, everyone. It's quite a fun one to do, and don't worry if you fall to the side. Happens to me all the time. Once you're ready, bringing your knees back in, hugging your knees to your chest, rocking side to side, and then taking the feet to the mat, resting your legs out. So now your full body is just resting on the mat. So you're going to take your hands out to the side, palms facing up, let your feet relax. And now we're coming into Shavasana. So this is the end of our session. We're just going to take a couple of deep breaths to relax now. So you can close over your eyes if you want to, or you can keep them open, just relaxing here. So it's always nice after you've done some exercise or some yoga just to take a few moments to appreciate what you've done and just let your body fully relax. Slowly start to bring some movement back into the body. So wriggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe take a stretch if you want, stretching your arms overhead. And then hugging the knees into the chest. Rolling onto your right side. And then bringing yourself up to seated position. Lovely. And that's the end of our session. Well done, everyone. You did such a great job.
So thank you very much, Lauren. I hope you've all enjoyed that and you're now feeling rested and relaxed for the rest of the day. If anybody's got any questions for Lauren, just quickly pop them into the chat for me. And I'm sure she'll be happy to answer that. Okay.
You're all very welcome. Thank you for joining. Yeah, if you have any questions about any stretches that are good to do for daily or after you're swimming, you can feel free to ask me. Yes, happy Halloween to everyone. I was going to dress up for you, but I wasn't sure whether to.
They'll all be rested and relaxed and just in time to get dressed up for their Halloween. And I think one or two of them have got birthdays today as well. So that's all very exciting as well.
That's very exciting.
Yep. Happy birthday for today, Joy.
Yes, happy birthday.
Your mum gave away that secret. Okay. Right, guys, if there's no questions, then it's lovely that you're all popping in. Thank you to Lauren in the chat box. That's fantastic. It has been very useful. As I said, the meeting is being recorded. And so we will pop this up onto the Scottish Swimming YouTube channel shortly. It's not me that does it. So I'm not sure of the timeline that for that to appear, but you will be able to access this workout. Sorry, the session, that's a better way of putting it, shortly. I will send emails as soon as I know that it's up on the YouTube channel. So folks, now we're getting ready for day 3. I'm aware not all of you are in the same district as me. I'm the West District, and we've got our pool session on Saturday, the 4th of December at Toll Cross. There will be more information coming out to you, so please watch for that. I think every other district, their pool session is on the 5th of December, and I'm sure you'll receive communications concerning that as well. So that will be very exciting, the opportunities to be face-to-face for the first time in 2 years. And I'm sure, along with myself and my other team managers across Scotland, we're all very much looking forward to that. So we'll bring today to a close. Thank you again, Lauren. That was really, really good. and I'll be watching that for when that pops up on the YouTube channel as